Hello and welcome back to the Soccer Brothers Podcast. This is episode number 24. I'm your host, Sahil and as always, I'm joined by my brother, Nihal. How you doing, Nihal?
I'm doing very well. It's MLS playoff time, and I am very excited. Are you excited?
I am excited. But before we get into the episode, why don't we talk about a great sports apparel brand named Ambitious Strike. You can check out their merchandise at ambitiousstrike.com. They sell everything from t-shirts to women's tank tops. If you want to get 15% off on your entire purchase, then enter the code BROTHERS at checkout.
Yeah, go check them out. They're a great website, and they got some great clothing. That's Ambitious, AMBITIOUS, Strike, STRYK.com. Go check them out. They're great. And also, before we get into the soccer, I just want to say that Android and Google Play actually released a podcast app, and we are on Android and Google Play now. So if you own an Android, you don't need to use SoundCloud anymore. You can just download the podcast directly to your phone through that app. So go check us out there. So now we are on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be nice for anyone who, has to listen to it or wants to listen to it in like the car or something, but you can't because it's on SoundCloud. So, we're more accessible now.
Yeah. And, I also our last episode 23, didn't show up on iTunes. We'll look into that. That's the second time this has happened in the last couple of months. So, sometimes it's just slow, but I mean, it's been a week, so. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's far too long. But anyways, we'll get into that. Why don't we get right into the soccer now? Before we talk about MLS playoffs, let's talk about some of the big headlines that happened. Jason Kreis, the coach of NYCFC, has been fired. What do you think about this? Oh, man, I think it's the wrong decision. I mean, he's proven to be a great coach. And, I saw on Twitter that someone was reporting that NYCFC said that he didn't spend enough time on tactics or pregame prep. And that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That's something he's known for. And I just think it's a grave mistake. He only got 1 year with the team. He got most of his players midway through the year, or two of his star players midway through the year. I mean, he did a good job of integrating Poku into the team. He had to make some hard decisions, benching Diskerud. Unfortunately, there was too much money to bench Lampard, but too much money invested there. But, it's very hard for an expansion team to make the playoffs. And yes, I mean, with that much money spent, you could say it's a disappointing season. But, I mean, you got to give him another year. And Taylor Twellman on Twitter said something that's so true, that in MLS with salary caps and the limited options in terms of moving players, continuity is the key to success in this league. Because, it's not like a new manager can come and totally rebuild the team, right? He's stuck with the players he's got. Save one or two, that he can change. They do need to shore up their defense, however, but really, that season wasn't on Jason Kreis. He's still probably a top 3 American coach right now with maybe Peter Vermees and Bob Bradley. And I just think it's a big, big mistake, and especially since it seems like they're going to try to hire a big European coach or a big European former player. Maybe like Ruud Gullit, who obviously didn't work out in 2008 with the Galaxy. He wasn't really familiar with the league, and his win percentage was around 30%. So I think it's a bad decision. I really do, and I think it's gonna come back to bite NYCFC. And I mean, already there are the people who want Jason Kreis to the U.S. national team to replace Jurgen Klinsmann. I don't know about that. I probably would prefer Kreis, but that's obviously not going to happen. But Kreis will find a job in MLS in the coming months. There's plenty. I mean, there's place for him here and abroad probably, if he'd like to pursue those options.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of coaching, Club Tijuana hired Miguel Herrera, who is unattached since he was fired from Mexico after everything that happened at the airport. So Miguel Herrera was fired from the Mexican national team.
They did not. I mean, they won the Gold Cup, but they didn't look that great really throughout the whole tournament. Should have lost to Panama, and then of course he goes and punches a reporter. But I mean, he'll be great for Tijuana. Obviously, there's some investment there for U.S. fans with players like Paul Arriola and Fernando Arce Jr. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works out. Obviously, that means that the Chicago Fire won't get Miguel Herrera, which was a rumor, and the U.S. national team won't get Miguel Herrera. Good hire for Tijuana, and I'm sure he'll be successful there.
Yeah. So, into more unfortunate news, I guess. Eddie Johnson, former DC United striker, announced his retirement November 2nd today because of a heart ailment. He's been struggling with this issue in the past. He's had a lot of great moments for U.S. soccer, so it's sad to see him.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the USA-Mexico game in qualifying in Columbus, and his header to put us up 1-0 was just a huge moment. His 2013 Gold Cup was pretty good. One moment that sticks out to me is when he was subbed on, and then 15 seconds later he scores a header in the Gold Cup. So he's a great player. Actually, the highest goal-to-minute ratio for the U.S. national team of any player with, I believe, at least 15 games played. So he was a good player. I think he was very, he was a good player, and he was really big in World Cup qualifying going into the 2014 World Cup and in that 2013 Gold Cup run. So he will be missed in MLS. It was a great story. He grew up as a very poor person. Luckily, he met some people who were willing to pay his club soccer fees, which are ridiculous. We have a cousin who's playing well. He's scoring hat tricks every week in like the free leagues or whatever. But it's $2,000 for him to play for one of the best club teams in Columbus. And that's ridiculous. I mean, that's so much money, and that's the problem. That's one of the problems with our system. And, you have guys, we're missing out on other Eddie Johnsons because, I mean, not every one of them are going to meet a family who's willing to pay for their club soccer. Same thing with Clint Dempsey. Unfortunately, his sister had to pass away in order for his parents to be able to pay for his club soccer. And, if that terrible tragedy didn't occur, we might have missed out on arguably the best player in U.S. soccer history. So the system, I mean, that's not what it's about. It's about Eddie Johnson, but the system definitely needs revamping.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we go into the MLS playoffs now? This is kind of the conference quarterfinals play-in game to the playoffs. So let's start off with the DC United versus New England. Chris Rolfe was the difference maker as he scored the 83rd minute winner to lift them over New England and advance to the semifinals in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, a drama-filled game. It was a great game, really, to watch. It was a fun game to watch. Obviously, that Juan Agudelo bicycle kick was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And Chris Rolfe was fantastic in this match, as was Fabian Espindola. Chris Rolfe with a brace to put him ahead. Jermaine Jones with the red card.
I mean, it was Chris Pontius who scored the other goal.
Chris Pontius scored the first goal. I'm sorry. Getting my Chris's mixed up. Jermaine Jones being sent off because there was a clear handball in the box at the end of the match, and Geiger was right there to call it. He didn't call it. How can the Panama handball be a handball? And I don't know. That was Sean Franklin, clear handball there, it's Jermaine Jones attacked Geiger. You can't do it. It was an unfortunate way for New England to lose, and I think we've seen the last of Jermaine Jones in MLS. He's getting offers from apparently Brazil and Europe and Mexico, so I think he'll leave. Maybe if it's not on the West Coast, it probably won't be in the U.S. So unfortunate for New England. I really thought New England was going to pull this out, but unfortunately they weren't able to replicate that run from last year.
Yeah. And you think Juan Agudelo will stay or remain at the Revolution?
I can't really answer that. I'd like to see him try to move abroad again, maybe go to Germany, because he had offers. But it's with his failure at Stoke City, it's hard to imagine him being able to play in England unless he gets serious national team minutes in the next 6 months. I think he'll stay for at least another year or half year. He's not going to move in January. Yeah. But that goal was fantastic. That an absolute world class overhead kick. That was insane.
Yeah. All right. The night game on that Wednesday, October 28th, was Seattle versus LA, a matchup that we've seen a lot.
Yeah. A crazy match. Clint Dempsey in the 5th minute scores. And then Sebastian Letjet a minute later scores. Right. Valdez in the 12th minute scores. And then Zardes in the 22nd minute scores. So absolutely crazy first 22 minutes. And then, of course, Eric Freeberg at the end with a nice volley to give Seattle the win. Terrible goalkeeping from Donovan Ricketts. And really, the Galaxy getting rid of Jaime Pinedo was a huge mistake. It was apparent there. Steven Gerrard blaming the defense. Yeah, AJ De La Garza was to blame probably for the 3rd goal. But Steven Gerrard has been not good this year. And there was a quote that came out today that he was like, I was unaware of the travel and the altitude and the humidity. What the hell? Do you not do your research when you come over here? Like, you just... that's a problem. It's a difference. Steven Gerrard probably... is a little bit more invested into the Galaxy than Frank Lampard. But, that's why we need players like Kaká, Thierry Henry, David Villa, Jovinko, DPs, high-level DPs who really buy into the league, who know what they're doing. But, back to the game. It's a great win for Seattle. I really didn't think it was going to happen. And, they keep on finding ways to get it done. And the home field advantage was huge in this match. That crowd is just fantastic. And then, on Seattle's second goal, Nelson Valdez, and Andreas Ivanschitz with an assist Nelson Valdez. And those are 2 mid-season signings who seem to be working out well for them.
Yeah. All right, and then that Thursday, October 29th, we saw 2 more games in the quarterfinals of each conference. And in the Eastern Conference, we saw a Canadian versus Canadian matchup, Montreal Impact versus Toronto. Montreal actually took this 3-0 with 3 first-half goals.
Yeah, these 2 teams played a few days earlier on decision day, and Montreal won 2-1. There didn't seem to be a change in tactics, Montreal was able to pack it in, not let anything down the middle, and, were able to score some nice counterattacking goals. Patrice Bernier scored a nice goal. Ignacio Piatti, what a player he is. He's absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, Didier Drogba. And it was 3-0 by halftime, and Toronto, there was no way back for them. And, there's only so much Jovinko can do. But this rivalry is going to be great going forward. It's going to be, both teams have a lot to build on. Hopefully Jovinko stays in MLS, which is in doubt. It's quite possible that a European team will swoop in and try to land Jovinko, but they needed to keep him around. So Toronto's first time in the MLS playoffs was short-lived, but a really, really good step forward for them. I think they might need a change in coaching. But out of clubs in 2015, probably tremendous growth from Montreal Impact's fan base with the signing of Drogba, the CONCACAF Champions League final. Yeah, they've been tremendous all year, and Stade Saputo was rocking. And I think it's funny because Montreal actually offered Jovinko a contract before Toronto did. I don't know about before Toronto did, but they also did offer a contract, and they clearly won that war tonight. Or not tonight. It's not tonight. It was like 5 days ago.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, Montreal, they have a really good thing going there, and they've been building the last couple of years. They have, some really, really nice role players in Dili Duca, Damaduro. I'm a big fan of Kyle Becker, Patrice Bernier, Toya, Rio Coker, Callum Malice. These are good players, and to go along with players like Drogba and Piatti, Donadel, he's a fantastic player. To go along with the Piatti and Drogba, I mean, they have a really good team. And who can forget Laurent Simon in defense there? I mean, he's fantastic. Remember, he was on the Belgian World Cup squad last year.
Yeah.
So.
Right, and then the last game of the quarterfinals on the Western Conference was Portland versus Whitecaps, and it was 0-0.
Portland versus...
Portland versus Sporting Kansas City. I was thinking about the...
Yeah, the conference.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it eventually went into penalties, and Portland came out on top.
Portland, Kansas City, yep, it was 2-2, and Portland ended up winning 7-6 in penalties. And, wow, what a match. Rodney Wallace scores in the 57th minute. It's a deadlock in the first half. Kevin Ellis then scores a nice header in the 87th minute to tie it up off a set piece. And then Christian Nemeth scores in the 96th minute. And you're like, okay, Sporting Kansas City is going to pull this off. And then all of a sudden, Arruti scores in the 118th minute to send it to penalties. And the penalty kicks were just insane. Were just absolutely insane. I mean, it started off, Diego Valeri unfortunately missed his first one. Benny Feilhaber scores, and then Nat Borchers needs to convert his, and he does with a great strike from a center back. Great strike, and then Kwarse is able to save Dom Dwyer's, and then there was a procession of a bunch of missed penalties. Jack Shrewsbury, just sails it over the top, reminiscent of Sergio Ramos. And then Matt Beasler tries a Panenka and puts it 3 feet over the bar. Arruti scores, Nagamura scores, Villafania with the miss, and then with a chance to win, Kevin Ellis misses. And then Asprilla and Mustavar scored. Nagbe with a nice free kick. Peterson scored. Alvis Powell for Portland misses. And then Saad Abdul Salam hits both posts. His penalty hits both posts and doesn't go in, which is amazing. I've never seen that happen before, and I don't think I'll see it happen again. And then eventually it went down to the two keepers. Kwarase of Portland converts, and John Kempen of KC, who replaced the injured Melia, was unable to score. So Tim Melia, the goalkeeper, had to be had to be subbed off in the 84th minute with an apparent concussion. Portland wins in a crazy, crazy match. I mean, Kansas City had 4 chances, really, to convert penalties to win. Kwarse came up big, some missed penalties, and, their penalty run comes to an end. Remember, they won MLS Cup a couple years back on penalty shootout. So, good win for Portland. It's always fun to see them succeed.
Yeah. So, certainly not a lot of rest time for these teams that did play in the play-in game. Obviously, those teams that won will be on the road in their next game. And the first one was DC United at...
No, they're at home. The higher seed plays it on the road first.
Right.
Yeah, because you want to have... So DC won on Wednesday.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because if it goes into extra time, you want the higher seed to have a...
Yeah, it makes sense. And your tactical approach can...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, anyways, sorry. First game...
I will say something. I was listening to the Total Soccer Show, which is a great podcast. I'm sure everyone who listens to this has heard about them. Taylor Rockwell, one of the hosts, was saying, the higher seed should get to choose if they want to play first or second at home. And I think that's a good idea, because
that is interesting.
Yeah, because his rationale was, Vancouver is the second game we're talking about, but Portland coming off of a crazy match on Thursday, going into penalty kicks, a very tiring affair, probably benefited from playing at home, and they were able to play for that 0-0 draw. Whereas if it were in Vancouver, Vancouver probably could have taken it to Portland and taken advantage of their tired legs, which, is interesting. So, MLS playoff seems to change every year, so we'll see.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. All right, so the first game was on Sunday, November 1st at 3 p.m., and we saw DC United take on the Red Bulls. Dax McCarty was the difference maker in the 72nd minute, scored a goal off of Sasha Klajskin assist.
Yeah, the Red Bulls really, really dominated this match, and it could have been 3 or 2-3 nothing, probably more than that. Not to say that DC didn't have chances to score, but Dax McCarty scored us off a set piece, a great set piece by Sasha Klajskin. Bill Hamid came up huge in this match, and I would not be surprised if he moves to Europe this offseason because he was incredible. He really is. I think he's the next goalkeeper. I think he's a good shout to be the starting goalkeeper in the 2018 World Cup. He or Ethan Horvath or Brad Guzan, of course, but. If it's not going to be Brad Guzan or Tim Howard, I think he would be the starter. There is a chance. I just think that Ethan Horvath is a little bit ahead of him right now. He's getting minutes in Norway. Yeah. They're the same age, and he obviously is playing in the Europa League, and he played in Champions League qualifiers and was very good. He's already made the Europa League Team of the Week. I think he's a little bit ahead of him. Mm-hmm. Although I do think making that change in Olympic qualifying kind of hurt the team because he couldn't come until Mulder released him. Mulder didn't release him for the U20 World Cup either because their Norway season goes through the summer. So I don't know if you would have started over Stefan. They're both, hopefully they both turn out. But if one turns out, if even one of them becomes as good as I think they'll be, I'll be happy. So.
Yeah, definitely.
How do we get there? Bill Hamid. Yeah,
Bill Hamid.
Yeah. Yeah, so Bill Hamid was, New York with a deserved win. They got that vital away goal. And I despise the away goal rule. Do you like it? I hate it.
I don't like it. In fact, I'm kind of against the whole 2-leg system. I liked it better when they had it a few years ago. Because, it incentivizes the whole, higher seeding part of it, right?
Right. If you're going to have seeds, this 2 legs even makes sense.
No, not really. You're just playing second.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. The end goal is that if you're the higher seed, you get a bye. And also, if you are the higher seed, you are the higher chance you have of hosting the MLS Cup final. But yeah, you're right. Away goals, I just the rationale is that it's harder to score away goals. But you could do home goals.
There's no rationale.
Then that means it's easier to score home goals. So if you score more home goals, then you should go through. It just makes no sense to me. It's just I don't understand how a 1-1 draw is any worse than a 2-2 draw or any. Yeah, how's that's worse than a 2-2 draw?
You're definitely approaching a game way differently.
Yeah, no,
than you would in a league or something.
Definitely. And I think for MLS, it doesn't really work. Like you said, it's absurd. And it's a 1-1 draw. If you draw 1-1 on the road and then you draw 2-2 at home, maybe it was a more open game. Yes, they scored 2 goals on the road, but you held them to 1 goal at home the game before. So, I don't really understand. I don't really understand. I don't know. It's just dumb.
If there's one, but the thing is, they know the away goal rule, so they play it differently. They play it like away goals are more important, I guess. But still, it's the whole concept is dumb. But it's not like they don't know about the rule. They just play the both results.
Yeah, I know, but it's just flawed logic. It makes no sense. And it's better than penalty kicks, but is it really?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely rather have a one-legged playoff game with the home team winning in penalties than them winning in away goals after the second leg or something like that.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense in a non-seeded competition to make like the Champions League, to make sure that, or to make it less likely that you go into extra time, because I mean it's really just the luck of a draw if you're at home first or second. So, but
and also in those, I mean, you have other competitions to worry about. This is all they. I mean, I guess they do have other. Okay, but.
Well, no, I mean you are right. Thing. Yeah, you are right. That's also true. Yeah, it's just I don't really like the rule, and I know a lot of people don't. So I don't know. I find it funny how a lot of Americans like the rule because it's European, but I mean in Europe, as far as I can gather, it's pretty like it's a lot of people don't like it. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we go into the third game, which was 7 o'clock Eastern time. Hard for you and I, as Columbus took an away loss 1-2 or 2-1 at Montreal.
Well, see, this is the absurdity of it. Columbus wins 1-0 at home, and you're through. I mean, I don't. Yeah. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I mean, Federico Higuaín scores a goal, a terrible giveaway by Drogba in his own box, and Higuaín's able to volley it home. And then Patrice Bernier, unmarked, scores a header to tie it in the 37th minute. And then Johan Venegas scores a goal 4 minutes after being subbed on. Michael Parkhurst just gives it away and then falls to the ground and rolls around for a couple of minutes. Get up and chase after him. And then Johan Venegas scores finishes a nice goal. And I mean the big thing was that Didier Drogba grabbing Steve Clark by the leg.
That was ridiculous.
That was so stupid. How do you not get sent off? I mean, it should have been yellow for the slide tackle or the challenge that right before that, and then another yellow for holding onto his leg.
No, that could be an immediate red.
Yeah, no, it could be. I don't really understand.
That has nothing to do with the sport. I don't know what that is.
It's ridiculous.
But Bernier, man, he had a goal and assist in the quarterfinals, and then now.
Well, yeah, he's a long-time Canadian international, and you know he keeps on getting it done, and he's a quality player, and I think Donadel is one of my favorite players to watch. He has just such a cultured left foot, and you know, that's Patrice Bernier's 102nd cap for Montreal, so he's a great player. I believe he's the captain of the club. He also has 53 appearances for Canada, so 36 years old. A native Quebecois, and what?
No, I don't know. You just always find ways to fit in French. French don't have a Liga segment.
It's his 102nd appearance for Montreal in this stint. His first stint, he had 73, so 175 appearances for Montreal in his career. So, good for him. He's played for Kaiserslautern as well. So. Yeah, he's a good player. Donadel, too. I mean, those two in midfield are just fantastic, and I really enjoy watching them. And, Montreal, I mean, it was a close game. I'm hesitant to say that, Montreal deserved to win. I think a draw would have been a much safer or much more even result. But, it is what it is. You can't give the ball away, like Parkhurst did. So,
all right, and then the last game, 9:30 that night, was Seattle beating FC Dallas 2-1 at home. Clint Dempsey scored in the 86th minute to secure the win.
Yeah, I mean, this was a great match to watch. Fabian Castillo scores it, the first goal in the 18th minute off a great counterattack. Mauro Diaz with a fantastic outside of the foot pass, kind of like Lukaku's pass. That was against Sunderland this weekend. That was great. I mean, Mauro Diaz was amazing in this match, and it's sad that they weren't able to pull it off. And then Andreas Ivanschitz scores. Stefan Frey starts that attack. He starts that attack from kicking it. He kicks it, and then Ivanschitz gets it, but he was clearly out of the box when he kicked that ball. So, that's unfortunate. I mean, Guzan got called for it against Jamaica, but Yeah, so Andrei Savashits with some great individual play and a wonderful finish, and Clint Dempsey in the 86th minute with a beautiful curling free kick over the wall and into the top corner. So it was a great match to watch, and FC Dallas, it's not a terrible result. They got that away goal, so really they only need to win 1-0. Seattle definitely needs to score a goal, because FC Dallas, I believe, is the best home team in the league. Seattle has such a deep team. When you have Nelson Valdez coming off the bench and Christian Roldan, who's very good, when you have these players coming off the bench, it's just they just have such a good team.
Yeah. So do you want to predict the second legs of these games, or?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So, I don't have the order up, but I can just go by the game. Okay. So
I don't think it's determined yet.
Okay. So, New York is going to be playing DC at home. Who do you take in that one?
I'm going to say New York 3-0. DC, their pass percentage in the last match was was around 50%, and the most passes completed. You know who it was? Bill Hamid to Alvaro Saborio. That was the most successful passing combination.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't see them playing any better in New Jersey, so I'm going to say Red Bulls 3-0. What about you? Who you got?
I'm going to say New York 2-0.
Okay.
And then we've got, so we had a scoreless 0-0 draw with Portland and the Whitecaps in the first leg, and now we're going to see Vancouver at home in the second leg. Who are you taking in this one?
I love Vancouver, but I'm going to take Portland 1-0. I think, I'm going to say 1-1. A 1-1 draw, so Portland would go through. Such a stupid rule.
I want the I want the biggest BS win. I want a 0-0, and then it goes into penalties, and then the goalkeeper skies it or something like that.
Another match like that for Portland?
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be
funny. Well, I didn't mention this, but Darlington Nagbe was great once again, and he's just so good, and he needs to be called up right away. Yeah. I just think Portland, they'll have some more rest, and they're really hitting their form right now, and I feel like they can pull it out here, 1-1, because a 1-1 draw on the road is better than a 0-0 draw at home.
I'm gonna say Portland in full time goes 1-0 on the road.
Okay.
All right. And then the Impact have a 2-1 aggregate advantage going to the second game while Columbus plays at home. I'm going to say Columbus 3-1.
Really? I think, I think Columbus wins 1-0 and goes through. I think it's going to be a tough match for both sides.
Yeah, it's true. It definitely could be. All right, and then in the last game, we have FC Dallas hosting Seattle. They have a 1-goal disadvantage. Who are you taking in this one?
I'm going to take FC Dallas 3-1 in extra time.
Really?
Yeah. Seattle, they won this match, but they really... They scored one off a set piece, and the other one was kind of an illegal goal. And they won't have that home crowd behind them. They have Fabian Castillo and Mauro Diaz are so good, and Dempsey and Martins just haven't been that great this year, and especially towards the end of the year. So I think FC Dallas is so good at home. I think Seattle is going to score a set piece goal or some scrappy goal, some crap goal that they somehow always seem to score. FC Dallas will score 2 in full time, and then they'll go into extra time, and FC Dallas will pull it out.
Yeah, I think FC Dallas is going to go... I'm just going to go 1-0. 1 away goals.
Okay.
But back to the Montreal game. With the way the Montreal's playing, it might seem like they may come away with the win, but I saw a statistic earlier. They're 4-9-4, and 9 being losses, so the American way, on the road in the season. So they don't have a great road record, and let alone against a good team like Columbus Crew, second in the East.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that stat. I just think ever since Drogba came, he's been fantastic for them. He's been a game changer for them, and anything that happened before that, it was just a different team. So, I don't know. It's an interesting one. It's definitely one that we're gonna watch. I'm hoping I can get to the match here in Columbus.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
So, yeah.
All right. So that's enough with the MLS. We'll all be.
There's never enough MLS.
Well, okay. I guess. We're done. We're done talking about MLS though.
Yeah. I know.
We'll all be watching this weekend at the second leg of conference semifinals. But as for Europe, we're going to talk about some European matches now. Inter Milan beat Roma 1-0 at home, and they go into second place. Roma sits third, Fiorentina first.
Okay, yeah, so Fiorentina usurps first place. Inter Milan goes ahead of Roma, and it's a match that Roma really needed to win, or at least get a point out of. Gary Medel with a nice strike in the I forget what minute, but a nice long strike. But Roma, Dzeko needs to figure it out. He's just not really fitting into the team, and it seemed like a great buy before the year, and it seemed like he was going to fit the system perfectly, and they finally had a striker, and the wingers like Falcao and Gervinho and Iturbe and Salah could run off of him and deliver some good balls in, but it's not. It hasn't been happening, and maybe that's because Gervinho and Salah like to cut in, because obviously Salah usually plays on the right and Gervinho plays on the left, and they cut in onto their stronger foot. Although Gervinho did move over to the right quite a bit in this match. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to figure something out.
The thing is, last year, so 2 years ago, we obviously relied on our wingers playing the false nine. We actually successfully played the false nine with Totti at center forward, Gervinho getting goals, and just everyone was playing well. But then last year, we needed someone in the box, but now it seems like, this is a good example of a match where we needed someone in the box, but against the provincial sides, I saw this somewhere on Twitter, but we can deal with the wingers, but it's matches like these where Dzeko needs to score. Yeah,
and there's two things that can happen. You have Dzeko hold the ball up and then deliver it to Gervinho or Salah running off of him, or you have Gervinho and Salah stretch the field and send in some nice balls for Dzeko, but neither seems to be happening. Dzeko is dropping back, but he's not really delivering the ball very well. It's usually he squares it or he passes it back to someone in the midfield. And Roma, they're in third place and they're up there and they really don't look that great. Castan. Well, okay, yeah. They have to look good to be there, but you know what I mean. Like it's disappointing. They spend a lot
in some matches. Have been disappointing. Yeah.
Well, you spend a lot of time in your opponent's half, and they fail to create any real chances.
Right.
Pjanic has been able to bail him out with free kicks recently, which that doesn't take away from their victories. But you'd like to see some more goals from the run of play from Salah, Gervinho, and Dzeko. Against Leverkusen, De Rossi scored a brace off set pieces. How many goals has Manolas has scored? A couple of goals this year too off set pieces, right? So
yeah,
it's
I think one.
One, okay, but it seems Roma plays such good soccer. They have such a class midfield. There seems to be some disconnect there, and maybe playing that holding midfielder. Did De Rossi play in this match? I can't remember. I don't think he did.
I feel like he was suspended.
It was Pjanic, Nainggolan, and Florenzi in midfield, right?
Yeah.
So I think they kind of missed De Rossi there, but I don't know. They need to figure it out.
But
they also don't have a true attacking midfielder. So.
We really don't. There's Totti, but he barely has touched the field. He has some injuries, but he's barely touched the field this year.
If Totti comes in, he's playing striker or center forward. He's not playing.
Yeah, I've never really seen it work that well if he's playing like underneath the striker. Right. I don't. Anyways, Miralem Pjanic got red card in this game, so he's gonna be out for the derby this weekend, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. He's a great player, and credit to Roma for being able to hold on to him. Honestly. I think he could play in Barcelona's midfield or Real Madrid's midfield. You don't think so?
I don't know.
I mean, he hasn't been that great. He hasn't been able to create that much this year.
I don't think he makes mistakes, but sometimes I feel like he's not aggressive enough against, like the lower level sides. Like, because he can dribble past people, but he just doesn't try.
I mean, I just don't think there's enough in front of him to pass to. I really don't. So, he ends up passing. He ends up like Dzeko, squaring it or passing it backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, Gervinho and Salah make runs, but, they're not... If they're not making runs, it's just Dzeko on an island over there.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't overreact too much. I mean, we were in a pretty good run of form before this game.
Right. I mean, I just find Roma's spacing really weird. It kind of reminds me... I mean, not that their spacing is similar to the U.S.'s, but it throws me off.
Yeah, like sometimes...
I mean, Gervinho will either, like, he pinches in sometimes, and he just... I don't know. It's because they have so much possession in the attacking third, but they can never capitalize.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main issue, and Rudy Garcia needs to figure it out. I really don't think Rudy Garcia is the right man for the job. And, I loved Rudy Garcia. I thought you were crazy last year for wanting him to be fired, but then towards the end of the year, I was like, you know what? You're right. He has all this talent. It's a team. It's a golden opportunity for Roma this year, in a year where Juventus is just not playing well, to win the league. This is the year.
Yeah, definitely.
So... disappointing for Roma, but the season's not over. I mean, it's on the road against Inter Milan, a team who's been in great form this year. So, it's not a bad loss, but it was just a discouraging performance, I'd say. You'd like to see him go out and play really well and lose, as opposed to,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say the Inter Milan really outplayed us. Szczesny could have gotten to that.
They didn't. That's the disappointing part, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right.
Oh, wait, so you're saying you rather would have seen Roma get outplayed?
No. Well, no. I guess what I'm saying is, the aimless possession in the opponent's attacking third really gets to me. It's really, I just don't understand what the plan is. I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing.
It doesn't. Yeah, Dzeko needs to. We need to figure out. Anyways, we spent a lot of time on Roma.
I mean, Inter. Yeah, we have, but Inter didn't outplay Roma. But did Roma really have any clear-cut opportunities? I mean, Salah was on the break a couple of times.
Yeah. I
mean, towards the end. There were a couple at the end. Actually, not that I'm remembering. But, they have the talent. They just need to put it together.
Yeah. All right, yeah. They'll be playing the Champions League on Tuesday and Wednesday, of course. Check out all those matches. They're playing specifically on Wednesday, but Champions League's happening on Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, our next European match is Chelsea versus Liverpool. Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp got his first win in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge, 1-3.
Yeah, Ramirez scores a header in the 4th minute, and, great. And then Felipe Coutinho scores in the 48th minute in the first half, really. It's in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. He puts it onto his left foot in a great finish. And then Jose Mourinho gets sent off, and is actually banned for the next match, so there's that, against CSKA Moscow. I don't know.
He should be fired, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll get there. I mean, Felipe Coutinho with another great finish in the 74th, and Benteke puts it to bed in the 83rd. And Chelsea at home, only 2 shots on target, and one was a goal. The second was a 40-yard shot from Oscar. So it's which actually almost went in, but it was a great save by Mignolet. But Liverpool thoroughly outplayed Chelsea, and Chelsea's nightmare season continues. There are rumors that Chelsea have already decided to fire Mourinho, but they're going to wait until Sunday because that's when the international break starts. So they have a couple weeks to get everything together. I don't know, and it's just they have these talented attacking players. This defensive soccer is not working. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So you think Mourinho should definitely be gone? I think so. But
yeah, I think people get too caught up in like what he's done or what success he's brought to the club, because it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter.
It matters,
but you can't use that as a reason to keep him around when he's not taking advantage of the talent he has.
Right. I mean, he did great things for the club, as recently as last year. That doesn't give him a pass, at a club like Chelsea, to be performing to continuously be performing this badly. I think he should be gone.
All right. Yeah. The next game I don't really know that much about, but Eintracht Frankfurt tied Bayern Munich. It's just the first time the Bayern have dropped points.
Yeah, it's the first time that Bayern Munich had dropped points. Arjen Robben was decent in this match, I'd say. Aside from that, there wasn't a whole lot going on. I mean, Bayern Munich dominated the match. Arjen Robben had a couple of really nice set piece opportunities that he sent into the box, but the headers couldn't be scored. But I mean, not a whole lot happening.
Yeah, to clarify that, dropped points in the Bundesliga. They dropped points in the Champions League against Arsenal last week.
Right.
But are they still your favorites to win the Champions League?
Yeah, come on. Okay. Who else is playing as well as they are? Who else has the talent? I mean, Thomas Müller came off the bench in this match.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that any team is really as strong or anywhere as strong as like last year's Barcelona. I mean, I guess Messi's gone, so we still have to wait, but they just don't seem as like consistent. Yeah,
I mean, how can Bayern haven't lost yet in the Bundesliga?
Still, I mean, we're talking about the Champions League.
Yeah, that's fair enough, but doesn't really mean. I still think they're gonna win. So.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's possible that we'll have another episode midweek. I don't know about that yet, but definitely count on us talking about some of the Champions League games this weekend, along with MLS.
Yeah.
All right, so another big piece of news for American soccer is Aaron Johansson being out for the remainder of 2015. He had a successful hip surgery.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He was playing decently well for Werder Bremen, but I think he has 2 goals on the season. So he'll miss, obviously, the November friendlies. We probably won't see him in the U.S. jersey until March. But hopefully he can come back from this and slot right back into Werder Bremen's lineup. I don't really have too much else to say about that.
Yeah. All right, so should I just list off what the American players did abroad?
Yeah, we can. Well, list it, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay. So Tim Howard. Tim Howard played 90 minutes, and made 7 saves in Everton's 6-2 win versus Sunderland on Sunday.
It's good to see him playing well again. Neither of the 2 goals Everton conceded were his fault. He actually played well. The Everton fans seem to have forgiven him a little bit. And making 7 saves is no joke. And this was a crazy match. We spent 15 minutes on Roma, and we're going to spend like a minute on Everton. We have to have a talk about this.
Well, I feel like even if we didn't have Americans playing in this match, we would still be talking about it. Even though it's not like a major match in the Premier League.
Why?
Because it's like 7th versus what?
What are you talking about?
Everton's 8th.
Yeah, we were 9th coming into this match, and Sunderland's in the relegation zone. So.
Yes, it's not a major match. Okay, anyways. You said that Tim Howard wasn't involved in any of...
Aruna Kone had a hat-trick.
Okay, yeah, that actually is pretty exciting. And there were some good goals, too. But the question is, you said Tim Howard wasn't involved in the 2 goals that Everton conceded.
He was involved. It just wasn't his fault.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't his fault. Were any of the 6 goals that Sunderland conceded the fault of DeAndre Yedlin? I guess he wasn't in for all of them, I believe.
I think he got subbed off after the 5th goal, I think. But, I mean, there's a lot coming up that right side, or Everton's that left side. And I think he was a little bit out of his depth. But, yeah, I wouldn't say they were directly his fault. He was just out of position a little bit.
So he's playing fullback, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's his best position.
And that's where he should be playing for Sunderland?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and for the U.S. national team.
Yeah. Yep. I think so.
All right, why don't we talk about more stuff in England, but in the second division in the championship. Danny Williams started and played 90 minutes in Reading's 1-1 draw versus Brighton, on Saturday.
Yeah, Danny Williams, he looks, he's been playing, and I think he's a Premier League player, and hopefully he moves up. He'll be a big part going forward.
Tim Ream.
Yeah, Tim Ream played 90 minutes for Fulham. He's a good player. It's nice to see him play. And I think he can be a part of the U.S. national team, but I think he's a center back. He's not a left back. Yeah.
All right, let's move over to the Bundesliga. John Brooks did dress for Hertha Berlin, but didn't play in their 4-1 loss versus Borussia Mönchengladbach.
It's unfortunate that John Brooks has seemed to lost a little bit of playing time. They did lose 4-1 without him, though, so maybe he'll get back into the lineup.
Yeah. Fabian Johnson started in that game, and he played 90 minutes and had an assist for Borussia Mönchengladbach, obviously in the win.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be too injured, does he?
No.
So he continues to play well on the wing, which might be his best position. It is his best position because he doesn't have as many defensive responsibilities, and I think that's where he should be deployed for the U.S.
Goes along with what you said about Yedlin. In the second division of the Bundesliga, we saw Bobby Wood start and play 74 minutes in Union Berlin's win.
Yeah, he continues to get playing time, and he's an exciting prospect going forward.
Caleb Stanko dressed but didn't play in Freiburg's draw.
Yeah, it's just great to see him dress after that big leg injury. I forgot where in his leg it was, but he's back on the bench. He was the captain of one of their youth teams. He's a great defensive holding midfielder, and I think he was severely missed in this year's U20 World Cup. You saw Delgado start in the defensive midfield role, and he was a little bit shaky. Stanko's a good player going forward. He and he can also play center back. And then of course Russell Knus was also injured. He also plays in Germany. But yeah.
Right, why don't we move over to the Netherlands? DeSavio Payne came off the bench and played 26 minutes in Groningen. Yeah, I forgot.
Groningen. I think Groningens.
Groningen. Yeah, I know who Payne is. I just always forget how to pronounce that name.
Yeah, he's a young right back. He's recovering from injury. It's great to see him back on the pitch again. Why'd you skip my man Sean Barry?
I don't know. I did it intentionally too.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Do you have anything to say about him?
Well, yeah, it's good to see this. It's good to see Sean Barry playing in the Bundesliga too. His coach likes him a lot. He can play right or left fullback, and I mean, why not look at him for the national team?
All right, why don't we move over to Tippelagen, where Zarek Valentin started, played 90 minutes, and had an assist in FK Bodo's / Glimt's 3-1 loss for the show. I'm sorry.
Well, he continues to get playing time in the Tippelagen. He's a good defender. He did play in Montreal before and Chivas before he went to Bodo / Glimt. I don't even know what is the story with that name.
I don't know. We couldn't decide on one.
Okay, so it's FK Bodo / Glimt is a Norwegian football club from the town of Bodo, and it was founded.
The slash is actually in the name.
Yeah. And it was founded in 1916. Its nickname is the original club name, Glimt. So, their full name is Football Kluben Bodo / Glimt.
For anyone who's following the Tippelagen.
Well, I mean...
But you want to follow Americans, yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, we got a lot over there.
Yeah, we do. And, we got more that I'm going to talk about right now. Cole Grossman started, played 90 minutes, and had an assist in Stabæk's 3-2 win.
Yeah, one more thing about Valentine. He's made 52 appearances in the Tippelagen. So, so Cole Grossman for Bob Bradley's Stabæk has been playing well, and he's racking up assists. It's the last game of the season. Stabæk finished in third place. So it was a great season for them, for Grossman and Bradley.
Ethan Horvath started and played 90 minutes in Molde's 4-1 win versus Viking FK on Sunday.
Yeah, Ethan Horvath continues to get playing time and continues to impress. And then, yeah.
AJ Soros started and played 90 minutes in Vikings loss versus Molde.
I believe it's AJ Soros. But the former New England defender from last year's MLS Cup run is getting playing time over there. And, there was rumors that he was going to Chievo Verona. Remember that? Or was it Hellas Verona? One of the Verona teams. But unfortunately didn't go there and ended up in Norway. But he's getting playing time.
Yeah. Eric Hurtado started and played 58 minutes in his Norwegian team's loss.
His Norwegian team's loss?
Yeah.
Mjøndalen, right?
I don't know. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Come on, man. You gotta try. You're the host of the show.
Mjøndalen. What is the IF? Is that like how you say like football club? No, because that's FK, isn't that?
Yeah, it must be something football.
Yeah.
Well, Eric Hurtado, the Vancouver Whitecaps striker on loan to Mjøndalen, played. He has 9 appearances for the club on the season and 1 goal. So we had a lot of players in Norway, so thought we might as well cover them.
Yeah. All right, and then in Mexico we had Miguel Ibarra started, played 78 minutes, scored a goal, and had a yellow card in Club Leon's 2-1 win versus Atlas.
Remember Miguel Ibarra? The minute he goes to a big league, he gets dropped from the national team. I don't understand that. I don't understand why he wasn't in the Gold Cup, to be honest. He started off playing in only cup matches, not really making it off the bench, but he's worked his way into the team, man, and he scored a goal. I think it's his 3rd or 4th goal on the season in all competitions. So good for him. And, he still has an exciting future. He's not one to forget. He's still a player to watch and can be a contributor to the U.S. national team.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up the main part of the episode. Like we said at the beginning of the episode, you should check out Ambitious Strike. Their website's ambitiousstrike.com. They sell things like men's t-shirts and women's tank tops. If you want 15% off on your entire purchase, enter the code BROTHERS at checkout.
Yeah, they're a great store, great web store. So I know I haven't really explained this since the first time we unveiled our partnership with them. But they're based out of Arizona, and they see companies like Hurley and Hollister, who are like surfer skater brands that sort of transcend that role. So they're everyone wears their clothes, even though they were originally made for, or they're like a surfer or skater brand. So they want to have a soccer brand like that that anyone can wear. Yeah. So, all right. That's Ambitious, AMBITIOUS, Strike, STRYK.com.
All right, so are we playing TBD today, or?
Let's just forget it. It's a long episode.
Yeah, it is a long episode. Okay, we have an email for this podcast. It's SoccerBrothersPodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter. It's @SoccerBrosPod. My brother's Twitter is @BigTimeBrownie. Mine's @ASR_Sahil. Make sure to review and leave a rating on iTunes, or leave a comment if you're on SoundCloud, or follow us.
And remember, check us out on Google Play on your Android. We are over there now.
All right. See you maybe this midweek or next weekend. Cheers.
Yep. We look forward to covering this match. Why'd you say cheers?
Because we're a soccer podcast.
All right. Cheers.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in English romanticism, soccer, whatever. We talked about it with Ian Joy. Go check that out, episode number 6.
Yeah, I know. You directly got that from Ian Joy's episode. That was my question, man.
Well, I'm just saying I don't support it.
I know. I'm joking.
All right. We'll see you guys later.